Oh, will that get copyright claimed?
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Most deaf.
Most def.
Oh no!
Most definitely.
Look at who they hit the back door. You savages! There's a perfectly good ladder right here, but you're jumping over the side like hooligans. Really?
Hi, doo-doo.
Really, Highball? Really? Kick ban. I don't even know how.
Wow, this is episode 10. Can you believe we made it 10 episodes?
Yep.
Wow.
All right.
I love how the title. I love how the board there doesn't fit properly. Name this podcast episode 10. Happy Turkey Day. It's just.
Hey.
All right, 9:30.
Hey.
Mouth music time. Low production value.
Studios.
Copyright claimed.
Oh, look at this beautiful scenery. Welcome, everybody, to name this podcast episode 10. Happy Turkey Day. It's not Turkey Day yet, but we don't do a podcast every day. Yeah, right? And we're definitely not doing one on Turkey Day. That's time you spend to stuff your faces with food. Yes. How's it going, Spike? How's it going, Highball? How you guys doing today?
Hey, Roots. What's up, my girlfriend?
What?
I'm doing good. Highball, I need this here seat. Because I got the camera.
Shooting me in the head already. That didn't take long.
Took
1
about
minute
T
in,
minus.
I got there.
Nope, go away. Nope, juking. Oh my God, you're actually a decent shot. Oh man. Well, I'll just sit here.
To introduce our fourth member.
Our fourth member to the podcast. Oh man, he's scary. He's hairy. What's his name?
He's scary. His name is Bob.
Bob? I was hoping I said scary and hairy, you would have said Terry. But
or
Bob's
Larry.
cool. Larry. And he is a mini Yeti, so it just might be. How you doing there, Bob? How are you doing today? Does he have a voice?
So apparently in this game you can taxidermy now, and my obsession is to now taxidermize everything on this whole map.
Oh man.
I want to make a museum of just all the animals, and then become one of those creepy dudes like the Bates Motel.
Maybe in a couple weeks or so we can have. You know how I usually build giant warehouse houses?
Yeah.
Maybe we could build something like that and just put freaking brontosaurus in it or something. That'd be crazy. You open it up and there's a brontosaurus.
On your 10th episode, Roots. I believe I can't believe we made it this far.
We made it.
Yes, I can't believe we've done this for 10 weeks now. I really didn't think that it was going to last this long, but it's amazing.
We're going for 52. We're going for the year.
And then we retire.
Yep, go out on top.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but as long as I know you sorry sacks of shit, including myself, I hope we always do this. It's fun. Something to discuss things that we enjoy, whether it's entertainment or games. That being said, Spike, what are you playing this week?
Oh, what am I playing or watching or consuming this week?
Yes.
Well,
what's going in your mouth hole, your ear hole, and your eye hole?
So you know me, Mr. Miserly. If it's free, I've been playing it. And the PS Plus game this month, Bulletstorm, and I love it. It's just perfect, you know? It's one of those games where it obviously does not take itself seriously. It's like a parody of Gears of War, so it's real over the top. Like you can basically like kick a guy in the air, whip out a leash and like whip him back, and then kick him in the balls, and then shoot him in his face, and then flip him over, and like Like you get points for shooting guys like in creative ways. So it's but it's actually like a linear story, and I've been playing so many open world games that I actually enjoy just like going down a corridor, shooting, going, and then just moving on to the next corridor. Like I don't have to think about it, you know. It's almost on rails. I just go to the next big boss fight, and that's the whole game is just like adrenaline junkie. Like it doesn't stop. It's just boom, 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 boom. Uh, yeah, I know you tried it, but I think you need to go back in and maybe stream some of it because it's really entertaining. Because like I said, it never stops. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Check it out if you haven't already, people.
Yes, I'd like to try it again, but before we go on, I forgot. Welcome to Extinction, everybody. Welcome to the Extinction DLC, by the way. We were on, what were we on? The island last?
Yeah, we will Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah, okay, so we're on Ragnarok last. We've played through pretty much all the maps except the center. Played through Scorched Earth and everything. But this just came out last Tuesday, and it is vast. It is big. We haven't even made it. If you look at the screen and see my map, that's about as far as we've gone, and we really couldn't go much further because when you leave the little center area, you run into all sorts of health issues. So this is where it'll be for the future. Right now, we're in Extinction, and we will stream Extinction as well as we play through it. So, and for anyone out there who's a ARC player that watches our podcast, you can watch us play through this map throughout the next probably month or so.
And if you're good at the game, we might even let you play because we could always use some more tribe members.
Yes, as of right now, Deeproots_games is extremely broke. I used to host a private server, but that costs money, something I have zero of. As a matter of fact, I owe money, so...
Oh, yeah, I just switched it to talk show and podcast, so we have to actually start over from the beginning. Cut? No, I'm kidding. Keep going.
What? So, I'm like, he's totally just murdered my mind right there. So, yeah, so now we host I host a non-dedicated server, which means that I have to be on to play. But if there's any ARC players, maybe I'll let you come on every once in a while. I'm going to see about hosting a dedicated server off another PS4 if I can in the future. But for now, this is what we got. Highball,
yeah, so
who can't stop harvesting.
Games.
Yeah. What's more important than donating? Following. Tell your friends to follow. Tell your mom to follow. Tell your dad to follow. Tell your sons, aunts, and uncles, and grandmothers, and cousins, and neighbors, and coworkers to follow us. We don't make a lot of sense, but you will laugh, guaranteed.
36 followers. We're gonna make it to 50 by Christmas.
Hell yeah, that's our aim. 50 by Christmas. Highball, who can't stop fucking harvesting for the podcast. Let's go.
You know what
Highball, come on down. Yeah, arcing it up. Highball is our resident harvester, and he's back to join us finally.
Oh, he's got a fancy new outfit.
Oh, look at him getting fancy. So, Highball.
I soiled my armor. I had to go change.
Oh, boy. What have you been consuming with your eyes, your ears, and your mouth hole this week?
Oh, let's
Food.
see. I had a really, really tasty beef tenderloin for dinner this evening with a side of scalloped potatoes. And
Big money.
buttered up beans.
That's nice.
So good. As for my eyes, I haven't really been doing anything besides just staring at my unemployed ass life and trying to
Watching
figure
paint
out
dry.
a way to, yeah, practically. And what have I been hearing? I honestly haven't been listening to anything besides your guys' annoying voices every day.
Hey, sounds like you're listening to the right shit. or not.
But as for what I've been playing this week, you know me, like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Blackout, Zombies. As you both know, we tried out the Blood of the Dead map the other night, and that got really freaking crazy. But we're gonna try and continue making progress in it to get the Easter egg done.
Yeah,
besides
boy.
that, we just started playing Ark again with the Extinction map that just came out on Tuesday. The map is
Shout
buggy.
out to Ripple.
I don't
Ripple.
want to withhold. I don't want. Yeah. As for back to Zombies real fast, the guy that we played with that helped us complete the Voyage of the Dead, Easter egg Ripple effect. Props to you, man. Also, by the way, he hit me up with a message earlier, guys, that he's down.
God
to do
bless
Zombies
Ripple.
tonight, if you guys are down.
Oh, let's do it. Let's be it. Blood of the Damned.
But as you can tell, we started playing Ark again. Started the Extinction map since it came out on Tuesday. And I don't want to withhold information to anybody else who wants to try on Extinction, but the map is buggy. They're still working on it, but the map's interesting.
It's wild
enough.
card. Bugs everywhere.
But like, it's interesting enough. And looking at our new podcast set, you know, venue slated to change, perhaps if we find another more interesting area. But yeah, just Call of Duty, Ark. I've been itching my freaking skin for Red Dead Redemption 2 though, man.
Oh, you need to get that money.
I need that. I need to find somebody who has the game so I can borrow it.
Yeah, for real. Hey, anybody watching this wanna just let him borrow it? Send it to him.
Like, I have two friends who have. One friend has actually completed Red Dead 2 already. He played it already and got it done. And I've been trying to get in touch with him and ask him would he like to borrow my Spider-Man while I borrow his Red Dead 2.
Yeah, the old switcheroo.
And I can't get a hold of him. And then my other friend, he lives like an hour or so away, but he's got Red Dead 2 and he doesn't like it. I'm like, why did you buy it? Like, cause I thought it would be fun, but the multiplayer's not even available yet. I'm like, you bought it for the multiplayer?
Oh, God.
He's doing it wrong.
That's what's wrong with games. Hashtag.
And for that preference, everybody has a preference. Everybody has a right to their own opinion and preference. But just for that preference, I want to like smack him and steal his game.
Nice. Just walk up there, like just take your glove off, slap him with it, and take his game.
Give him like a piece of paper that says IOU.
What about you, Roots? What have you been doing?
Roots. Man, what have I been doing? So, watching.
Hey, wait, guys. Wait. You guys ever want to play a game real fast? You guys want to play Arrow Roulette?
Yeah, do it. Oh, is it gonna come on?
I think there's always an arrow in there. It would be cool if it did come back down, but I don't know if it does.
I would laugh. I couldn't be able to do the podcast for the rest at all tonight if that came back down and like got you right in the head right now.
like 10 minutes later, it comes down right in my fucking face.
Well, am I looking straight up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just shoot a couple
God.
and see. You got me
Hey, you know it's
interested
raining?
now. It's raining.
Hey, get your ADD ass back on track. What are you playing or watching?
So,
Not ADD, ADHD.
ADHD. So, guys, I don't know if you guys are Chris Farley fans or not. I don't know.
Yeah, boy, God rest that sweet man's soul.
He was a fatty.
He was probably one of the funniest people in his short life to live. My personal opinion. Even
Are
though
you gonna tell us that you did a little rendition of Big Man in a little coat today?
no. So speaking on Chris Farley, he I know I don't talk entertainment much. I'm usually video games. I think I look back at his stuff. When I was young, I thought he was funny, and now when I'm older, I think he's funny. Even though now I look back on it and say, oh, that a lot of his jokes are like kind of like a little immature and stuff, but they're funny regardless. Even if you think they're immature, regardless, it's funny. What is this guy doing?
Put your clothes back on! Jeez, man,
This is what happens. This is what happens when you let guys use female avatars. This is what they think of. 99% of the time.
Wow.
Gonna get
dare you?
banned.
You're
We're banned.
objectifying me. Stop objectifying me.
Hashtag me too. But speaking on Chris Farley, so I know a lot of people. Adam Sandler's either love him or hate him, but he was friends with Chris Farley, good friends. And Adam Sandler did a Netflix special called 100% Fresh recently, and he's singing and laughing and joking. And then boom, all of a sudden he breaks out a song to Chris, like about Chris Farley. And even though he was joking and having fun, it was still kind of really, really sentimental. And I just thought, I'm like, damn, that was some cool shit he did. Because Chris Farley's been dead for what, 10, 15 years now? You know, he's...
Yeah, a long time.
For you to still be thinking about your friend enough to put him in the middle of your special is pretty damn cool. And even if you don't like Adam Sandler, I think his special, it's a little bit different than what you normally see from him. It kind of goes back to his roots because a lot of it's him doing songs. Roots. A lot of it's him going back to doing his comedic songs. And if you didn't know, when he tries, he actually has a really good singing voice. And he can play the guitar pretty well, too. So, entertaining. 100% Fresh on Netflix. I watched it. It was great. I recommend anybody who likes to laugh or who is entertained by funny jokes and music. It's a really good watch. Other than that, what else? I've been playing, obviously, Call of Duty with you guys, even though I wanted to fucking complain to Sony and say the game is a broke piece of shit, because it is, and you still blue screen, you still get kicked a month later, and things that you're supposed to be paying real money for, you lose just because someone fucking exits out of the match because there's no host migration, which to me is like, how do you charge somebody for something but they can lose it just because someone decided they didn't want to play? That's insane. With that being said, still playing it because any game is fun with friends. And also...
Oh, breaking news. Death Stranding announcement tomorrow.
Breaking news. What is it?
Death Stranding announcement tomorrow.
Ooh, where at? Like at an event or just Kojima's Twitter? Or what?
At Metal Gear Solid headquarters.
I'm looking here.
I'm excited. Oh, told you guys, if the release date is August 12th, I'm going to basically...
Hey, if it's August 12th, I will put on my tinfoil hat for you.
Yeah. Finally, another tinfoiler.
Well,
Me and Bob over here.
one of my source sites, comicbook.com, just has this.
All right, back to our regular scheduled program. Bruce,
And
were
it's
you
from,
finished?
like 9 minutes ago.
Thank you for the update, Highball. So
No problem.
I also tried Bulletstorm. I'm on the fence.
Go back to it.
I didn't.
Go back to it. Go back to
Yeah,
it.
I didn't play it as long as you did. I played like the first mission or two, and I was like, man, this is like a broke man's version of Rage or some shit, or Mad Max. But yeah, I'm gonna try it again. What else have I been playing? I played some Yakuza Kiwami. It's actually really good. The only problem is, man, what Metal Gear had the shit ton of cutscenes? Was it 4?
All of them.
No, but I mean, wasn't 4 like 90 fucking percent? That's what it.
4 was majority cutscene.
Yeah, because I think 4 is one of those games that I just watched people play because it was basically watching cutscenes. But
Yeah.
but yeah, Metal Gear Solid or Yakuza Kiwami is basically like a version of that. Although I think it came out earlier. It came out in 04, 05 originally.
Okay.
I guess it's a remaster. I never played the original, but I heard about it. It definitely looks like a remaster because I think it looks great for what it is. Mechanically, it's okay. It's for being as old as it is. I would almost call it great, but I would just say it's okay compared to today's standards. But the biggest one of all, I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege again.
Ooh, he's back sieging.
Oh my god, it is so good.
Oh, breaking news! Breaking news! Death Stranding announcement for tomorrow is false.
Wow. Jesus. Fake news. Fake news.
I don't even.
Continue.
Oh,
Well, don't forget to ask our new member Bob what he's been playing.
I don't know
He ain't
what the
playing
hell
shit
you.
because he's dead.
Highball, did you dude say that on purpose the whole time just to say it was false? Jesus.
What a dick.
Alright, anyways, Rainbow Six Siege, really good. As you say, I should play Bulletstorm, Spike, you should reload Rainbow Six Siege. 3 seasons of content. They have almost doubled the operator.
God, I probably
no,
don't have enough
have they?
space in my hard drive to download all that.
They've almost doubled the amount of operators from when it first came out.
But I'm not going to have access to them because I haven't been grinding my ass off for the past 2 years.
Well, like I said, I only unlocked 1 or 2 of the year 1 ones, and then all of a sudden, boom, I had all of them. I might have bought the year 2 ones and I didn't even know. Oh, I
Yeah,
might
that
have.
happens.
I think it because it was like $10 or something, and it's normally $30. Or it was $8 or something.
Oh, deep roots, late night sleep buying.
Yeah,
Well,
just
no,
a
but
click
it-
of a button.
But it's worth it.
Microtransaction.
But it's worth it and it's great. And I think for anyone like me who, like we were talking earlier about it, like I would rather a game swing more towards realism, and Rainbow Six Siege definitely does that. There's no 360 jump, spin, sniper shoot, auto aim. There's no auto aim. None of that. You got to learn to shoot like a real man. It's very tactical, and all the gadgets are a fucking blast. There is a character on attackers and defenders for everybody. It's great. Play it. Root seal of approval. With
Are
that
there any
being,
loot boxes?
Root drinking.
there is alpha packs you get for free, but honestly, to me it's an afterthought because it doesn't affect the game, and I'm having so much fun playing the game. I don't think about how much loot boxes or their microtransactions affect me. That's one thing that's funny, right? Call of Duty is so fucking bad that I start thinking about how pissed off their microtransactions make me. But Rainbow Six Siege is so fucking good that I'm just playing the game. Doesn't even register with me. But that being said, moving on, Bob, what are you playing this week or consuming?
He ain't playing shit. He's dead.
I think he said he is eating bananas and smoking rocks. Bob, gentleman and a scholar.
If you think about it, Bob is playing a game since he's been taxidermied. He's playing Death Stranding.
Oh, I love
Wow, that was a good one. Is this his best pose? Did you go through the poses? Oh, come on, that is the best. Going through the poses here. Oh, look at that one. Looks like he's jumping.
We apologize, anybody who's watching the stream right now. We're a little off tonight because today's just been a very dull day.
Oh, look at that one. Oh, my day's not dull. My day was great. Got boba today. Do you know what boba is? It's fucking boba milk tea.
Yep.
Oh, if you ever want to try it, get a taro milk tea with boba.
Isn't that the little ball things in it?
Tapioca balls, yes.
It's so fucking weird.
Oh, but it's
You
good. Here's
went
the
out
problem, though.
and
If
enjoyed
you
some
get
balls.
here's the problem, though. If you get the wrong flavor, you're gonna say, "Oh, it sucks. It all sucks." You got to get the right flavor. If you like chocolate or something like that, you get the chocolate. Don't go getting the fucking red bean one.
Have you ever tried those Poms?
If
Those
you like
pomegranate
something,
ones?
Yeah.
No.
They're good.
If you like something mild flavored, taro is great. If you want something sweet, then you could get like a vanilla chai. Well, vanilla chai is even a little mild, but it's great. With that being said, ba-doo, 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 boo, boo, boo. It is Thanksgiving week, guys. Are you excited?
Oh, 30 minutes in and we're past our intro. Good going.
Hey,
Yes, I am
the
excited.
opening monologue's the best. It's completely unstaged.
But before we move on, I'd just like to let everybody know that this is called Name This Podcast because we would like you guys to submit a name for us. So in the YouTube comments or in the Twitch chat, please go ahead and let us know what you think this podcast should be named. We'll take it into record, and perhaps you could be famous, and you could tell all your friends that you named a podcast.
You like and subscribe.
And follow us. Okay, Roots, go ahead. What were you doing?
I would like to say hello, good night, and see you later. No, I'm just kidding. Spike, I believe you said you had a topic to talk about today.
Oh, well, diddly I do, diddly. Topic for me is going to be, let me think here, what was I going to do? Oh, yes. Yes. Highball let me know that there is going to be a Devil May Cry animated series on Netflix. There's already a Castlevania animated series on Netflix.
That's produced by the same people who do Castlevania.
And there's probably, and if you look in the past, there's probably been other animated fucking video game stuff. So I was thinking, man, I do like me a little bit of anime. I love me some video games. What game would make a great anime? So, I put that out to you guys. What animation game would blow your mind?
Hey, Skyman in the chat tonight? Anyone?
Skyman? I don't think so.
Where you at, Skyman? We know you're out there. We know you're watching us somewhere.
Come on, give us one person needs to be in the chat.
Yeah. They're out there. I know Skyman's out there. Highball.
He'll be back.
If I really had to think about it, like a video game adapted into an animated feature, TV series or movie, either.
No, like just a straight up anime. Like let's say like a 2-season anime, like Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, let's see. I instantly, for some reason, I don't know why, but I just instantly want to say Mortal Kombat.
Has that not been turned into an animated thing?
Well, no,
I
there
know
was an
Street Fighter
animated.
has
There was
it.
an animated series back in the '90s, and it was, it was okay, but that was in the '90s. Today, though, like say if Netflix picked up an animated Mortal Kombat series, I would watch that. I would give all the money.
I would too. To be honest, that's a great pick because that would it has enough lore to it where it would have a story, like a slight storyline, and it would have some great fight scenes. And we all know anime is great for fight scenes.
And if you couldn't get a full series run out of it, like a full series order for multiple seasons, I would at least, I think, 2 seasons would be good enough just to see what they can do. But I would just, I don't know why, just Mortal Kombat just pops in my head to see Liu Kang, you know, Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage, you know, all those characters. Because like you said, like, the lore is just, like, endless in Mortal Kombat. Like, more so than Street Fighter or Tekken or, you know, like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, a nice story about, like, an actual, you know, maybe sort of similar to how the old original movie was done, to where the tournament takes place and everybody comes together to fight in the tournament to save the Earth or some shit like that. But like, see, that was the thing about the animated series back in the '90s. Yeah, that was the thing about the animated series back in the '90s, was just like that. It was just portals opening everywhere and crossing back and forth from world to world, and it's like, well, I can't even remember what the premise of the show was really, but like, I don't know, like Mortal Kombat is, like, I would say top of my list. If not that one, then I would say Banjo-Kazooie.
Fuck
wow.
That.
No. My second choice would be Star Fox.
Oh, a Star Fox anime. Now I
think that'd be
I like that.
because then it has the spaceships and like the Cowboy Bebop thing where they're flying around, and like they have to make it like real gritty, you know, not cartoon.
Skyman.
Make them look like, oh hey, Skyman in the chat.
Skyman, thanks for joining. You heard us.
I think I know which one that I would make into an animation. I just
dude,
had
wait,
it.
wait, hold on. I want to throw one more thing in there for the Star Fox idea. Remember Reboot? Remember how they did Reboot? Do it that way. That kind of animation for Star Fox.
Reboot. Oh yeah, I remember Reboot. Okay, that'd be cool.
Remember? That'd be sick. I'd watch that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. Your choice.
Go ahead, Roots. I just lost mine. I want to go back to
Okay.
it.
Honorable mentions go to, and I think one thing that makes an anime great is a universe to build on. Any great anime, for the most part, you remember things across the whole anime. So, for example, you know, how I like the anime Fairy Tail. You remember about the world, the different guilds, the light guilds, the dark guilds. You remember them, the journeys they go on across the land. So I think So I think what's important in a good anime is the universe. And I think honorable mentions go out to Darksiders. If you have never played it, God help me, you need to go buy 1 and 2 that are remastered. You got to remember it's a little old now.
Wait, which one?
So,
what did you just say you cut out?
Darksiders 1 and 2. I recommend everyone. It's dirt cheap and it's great. And it's a universe and it's a continuing story. The stories have continuity. 1 and 2 are in different places but kind of at the same time. And 3's coming out soon. And basically 1, 2, and 3, you're playing as as a horseman of the apocalypse, and like I said, they have good stories. You remember going down into hell, and you remember going here and there. And I think that's a great universe, but it's not my pick. Number 2 honorable mention would have to be Borderlands.
Oh,
even though,
yes, good pick.
Even though I really wanted to pick this as my number 1 because I think it would be different than what you would normally see. But again, I think it has a good universe. It has fantastic characters, but there's one key component missing from Borderlands that would make it a superb anime. And that key component is, in animes, you always see characters build up, find the strength, and everything like that. That's one thing in Borderlands you don't really see. You see characters, you see great characters, but you don't see the only character in Borderlands you saw character development from was Jack. He was the villain.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Yeah, but honestly, throughout the series, he's the only one you really see character growth and development from.
Claptrap grows.
Well, I'm hoping you guys see where I'm coming from vision-wise, which I would like to...
You'd have to actually make the characters less, because the game is centered to be like we don't learn as much about the characters because we are the characters, so in the anime, they actually had to have more personality.
Yeah.
So they need to bring...
Tiny Tina.
Less and more actual talking but be that as it may, I would still actually like to see it. But my winner is, and I don't even know if they have an anime. They've done animated movie, they've done CGI movies and stuff. But my pick would be. What am I gonna say?
You're gonna say Final Fantasy.
Ding ding ding! Yes. How did you know? Wait. What is? Oh no! Final Fantasy is a great universe. They have, what is it, 20, 25 years of history? That's
fucking
the thing.
80,000 games.
I could go through, I could probably pick at least 5 or 6. Honestly,
8, 7.
7, 8, 6, 10, 12. Even, what was it, 13 was even pretty Actually, I never played through all of 13. I have to buy that again. Actually, I have to see if my I need a 360 controller. I need a 360 remote because I still have my 360, but none of my remotes work properly. But I let my wife borrow it before we were together, living together, because she saw me playing it, so I never got to finish it. But the first quarter or half of the story, I thought was fantastic. I loved it. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was interesting. And I also like the story of 15. I think 15 is actually really good. I don't know how it's critically acclaimed, but I personally would probably put it in my top 5. But yeah, I've not played all of them either, so little disclaimer, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan, but I do love the world. I love most of the characters, and I just think Final Fantasy has the key component I'm talking about. Every Final Fantasy game.
Skyman in the chat says anime women are awesome.
Daughters of Ares should be.
Is that even the game? I don't know.
I gotta look that up later.
Skyman.
Guy, check this out, guys. I'm about to blow your minds.
Bob, I gotta tell you. Wait, I gotta tell you the key component. The key component to every great anime is that the character goes from being someone who thinks they can't do it or doesn't show near enough willpower or strength or whatever it may be, and they develop to get stronger and stronger and overcome all the obstacles. It's not like Borderlands, like you were saying. They're kind of stagnant. You pretty much just it's a world where we're the tough guys and we murder everything and this is what you know. But it never has the suspense that this character doesn't look like they're strong enough, or it doesn't look like they believe in themselves enough, but somehow they get that willpower. Every great anime, look at every anime, I think that's great, and there is something to overcome always, and they find the strength within themselves. That's why I think Final Fantasy, I think they do that in all the Final Fantasy games. Like when you start Final Fantasy, what is it, 10? Titus, you're like playing blitzball and shit, and you go to having to battle things much greater than you. So I think Final Fantasy would make for a fantastic couple season animated series. Mic drop.
I agree. But I was actually going to say that, but I'm not going to now. So instead,
wait. Did I really just take that from you?
I was going to mention it. I was going to mention how great Final Fantasy would be as an anime.
But, oh, my bad, Spike.
But my real one is going to blow your minds. Imagine this anime, right? It like smoke. It opens up, da, 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 and then the title screen appears. TUROK. Turok.
You would pick Turok over Final Fantasy?
Dude, Turok the dinosaur hunter? I mean, a Native American transported back in time to like future robots or some shit?
Yeah, you're right.
Make an awesome anime.
I was like, man, I said that and then I'm like, wait, that would be pretty fucking cool.
I mean, I would watch Turok anime for real. All it needs is a hot chick in it. I don't know if there was one in Turok. I don't think there was, because back then they didn't have the capability. but yeah,
is this a girl? No, it's a guy with lipstick.
But for sure, I think that would make a really cool anime, Turok, and Turok, or even like Prey. Like the first Prey would have made a good anime, I think.
Whoa, Prey! Holy shit, that's a
yeah, the Xbox 360 Prey. So you can see I'm a little biased with the Native American spin, but you know, I think both of those would make great animes.
I agree.
Here's an honorable mention that just popped in my head because I would love to see what they could try to do with an actual series, whether it's animated or even live action. But anime, they can do whatever they want. Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, yeah, that would be kind of like probably how like Castlevania looks if it has the same feel to it.
I just figured
Well,
out how Borderlands could be a good anime. They introduce a new, young, up-and-coming character, and it's in the Borderlands universe, but this character is like the first one who goes through the self-doubt and the strength building, because Borderlands, they introduce the characters and they're, oh my god, holy shit mode already. But the Borderlands, they could introduce a new character, and it would base, even though it wouldn't be so much focused on the existing universe characters, but that would be good. $1 million idea. Write it down. Tell 2K.
Got it.
And tell them to stop
Somebody
putting
contact
fucking...
Netflix. They're buying everything left and right. They'll still buy anything.
Yeah, you got that right, man. I don't think there's one person that has turned down a Netflix offer yet.
All right, well, that's all I got. So, topic 2. Oh, wait, transition. If you haven't followed already, follow us at DeepRoots_games. Donate to Deep Roots. He needs money. And give us a name. Name the podcast. If you want to throw a name in the chat of what you think this podcast should be named, go ahead and let us know. We would love to hear what you guys have to think.
Yes.
Topic 2.
Follow us at
Who's
Deep
up
Roots
next?
Games. Watch us play some Ark. Right now we're just doing a podcast, but we will play this map as you watch. Highball!
Eat up.
What's your topic?
Take food.
I don't need food. What's your
Okay,
topic, Highball?
so we're having a good time talking. We always do on podcasts, but every once in a while there's some news that just kind of no one wants to hear. As I'm sure you are both aware, and I'm sure millions have been aware, last Monday we lost a legend, a great inspiration to those with imagination. Stan Lee passed away on Monday last week, and it's been sort of a slow week, I'd say, because of that, because Stan Lee was a magnificent mind, rank up there with the likes of Steve Jobs and, Stephen Hawking. He wasn't a scientist or philosopher, but he was a very creative person that really put a lot of thought into his work, and it actually grew young kids' minds, and me personally. And I know, and you may not realize it, but Stan Lee's had an impact on a lot of people just by his artwork and his storytelling.
So what would you say Stan Lee is most famous for?
Most famous for?
Yeah, because some people in the chat might not know it.
Comic book industry. He created Marvel. He created all the superheroes that people know today in the movies. He opened the door to other comic book companies to try harder to make better characters and stories. Like, Stan Lee first created Marvel with the introduction of the Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel. And from there came everything else. X-Men, Captain America, Black Panther, Iron Man, Spider-Man, most of all. And,
He created all those?
all of them.
Co-created, but yeah.
Co-created, yes, but he was a part of the creation of all of those Marvel characters. And he did this all in 10 years. In just 10 years, he created the Marvel Universe that kids know today in the comics. And
at the age of 45.
Yeah, and from there, other writers and creators, introduced new heroes because they were inspired by Stan Lee. DC was the first big comic book company industry before Marvel, but Stan Lee really brought it down to earth of making characters relatable, not just super. He focused more on the Superman than the Superman, the Superwoman than just Wonder Woman. He made characters.
He brought them down to earth.
Yeah, he brought them down to earth. He made them relatable. He even fought the Comic Code Bureau of allowing the use of drugs in stories and suicides and murders and death, because he felt that's the kind of stuff that kids need to actually have in there, because it bases it in reality. And so you get like a character that ODs on drugs because it was influenced by a sinister deed, and then the hero character would step in and stop that. And like, he knew to tell superhero stories that could gravitate in reality, rather than just go off the docks and just say a guy from another planet comes to Earth and like proclaims this planet as his and chooses to protect everybody. Like, not dissing on Superman or any of those. They're great characters too, but Stan Lee really knew how to like punch in the gut and in the hearts and the minds of the reader. And he didn't just do it and then walk away to take a paycheck. He did it, and he stuck with it ever since.
He made true believers.
As he has said, he's made true believers out of so many young people.
Excelsior.
And like, it's a damn shame that great man is gone now, because he was the constant, and he'll always be around. There'll always be a constant of Stan Lee, but just without him here, it just feels like we just lost a major.
Not his death. I think it's funny how he was like a cameo in all the movies. That was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think they'll like they'll probably CGI him in the new ones, right?
He's already filmed 5 films out, I think.
He'll have a cameo in Captain Marvel next March.
So,
and he'll have his final cameo in the MCU in Avengers 4 when it comes out in May.
So,
nice.
Highball told me about podcast, Kevin Smith's podcast, Fat Man Beyond, which used to be Fat Man on Batman. He told me about they did like an Irish Wake style thing for Stan Lee, and I think that was a really good watch for anybody who hasn't seen it. They tell you a lot of good things about Stan Lee. But the one thing, if you don't notice, which is most known for Stan Lee, first off, he's been doing cameos since '95, and he loves to do cameos. He loved to be in movies. And when he did his first cameo, he was already 65, 75 years old. Yeah, 75 about. He's almost 75 years old. And the one thing everybody says about him to this day, to the day he died, was that he was always a great person. He never thought of himself too big. Think about this. He created all these characters. He didn't own them. He never fought about it. He never put himself on a pedestal. He was a down-to-earth guy. You know how much money those Marvel movies make? I think they said around $25 billion so far. He never bitches about a paycheck. He's making the same. Granted, it's a lot of money, but he's making the same $1 million he's been making for who knows how long, and that's it. No, I don't. To my knowledge, he's not getting like an ass ton of royalties or anything. He apparently lived in the same house that he moved to Hollywood before he got his job at Marvel. And when he joined Marvel, they were a dying company to begin with. So this guy, through everything he's done, as much as you think you know how people make a lot of money, become successful, and they forget who they are, or they become a different person. He's always, to my knowledge, been the same humble, welcoming Stan Lee. And like Highball said, even though I don't discuss comics much, they were a huge impact on me growing up. Whether it's the comic shows, cartoons, or actually reading comics. They teach young minds, and even, when I was a teen still, like the difference between right and wrong. Not everybody goes to church. Not everybody, their parents aren't around 24/7. My parents worked. That's what they did to keep a roof over my head. So I hate to say it. Nobody's life is perfect. But I got a lot of influence from TV, media, and outside sources. but I think the best source for me not being a complete piece of shit was comics in that medium. In comics, nowadays it's a little more skewed, but they still pretty much tell you kind of what's right and wrong. Murder's bad, stealing's bad, always try and help people. That's like, look at a comic, and they're always the superhero with all these powers will stop what they're doing to save someone from getting robbed. Look out on the street or look at any media site and you see people getting killed and everybody will sit there and watch and record it on their phone. In the comics, they teach you, lend a hand, go to help, even if it's for the littlest thing. And like Highball was saying, man, that, yeah, people might say, oh, comics are for kids and cartoons and blah, blah, blah. Man, it is so overlooked how important that kind of stuff is for developing young adults and even kids and whatnot. So, Spike, do you have any history with reading comics or anything like that?
To be honest, I never had any comic books as a kid. I can remember the only comic book I ever had was, I think my dad brought one home from his work once. That it was The Death of Superman, and where he fights Doomsday and dies or whatever. And I remember him bringing it because he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be important or something," and I needed to keep it. And I was like, "Okay." So I like read it and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna keep this in case it's worth money or something." I don't know if I still have it. I might, but I think that's the only comic I ever really owned. There might have been a couple other ones, like, but not like that I remember. So I'm not a huge comic book fan, but I gotta say, Stan Lee. I mean, it's sad that he died and everything, but I mean, the dude made it in '95. So, I mean, shit, I'd be happy if I make it even close to that. So, I mean, 95 and you live a good life. So, I mean, it's sad he's gone and all, but you know, could have been a lot worse for him.
Yeah, they were. Kevin Smith was talking about it. How when he did his first cameo at like 72, 75, they were saying to be easy with him, and and he joked about how they thought he was near his end at 75, but he's like, hey, 20 fucking years later, right?
Yeah, right.
Kevin Smith talked about like when he went to walk off the set or something, he fell down some stairs at 75, and everybody thought he was like, oh shit, he's dead. And he sprung right back up and said, I'm good. And just kept walking. So, yeah, man, 95, he definitely had a good life. He can look down on everyone and he can be like, man, you know, at least the important thing I think for everyone to do, I know we live in a more or less negative world, but that's one guy that could look down and be like, damn, I think I did something special. Because with how the world is today and everybody liking drama, I mean, when you got YouTube channels that are called Drama Alert, and every time you turn on your favorite YouTuber, which the tens if not hundreds of millions of people that watch people on YouTube and stuff are doing negative things, and they just get more publicity and more money for it. In the sickening world that is, and even I get in on some of the criticisms, but I like to think the criticisms I give are justified. That guy focused on nothing but good and being a good person and spreading a positive word. That is someone that I really don't think we're going to see ever again. Ever.
We can only hope. And
Dude.
That, you know, I say hope because that's what Stan always tried to, like,
Excelsior.
sell in his stories. Was
Yeah,
hope.
yeah.
What makes a good hero, makes a good story, is there must be hope in it. And that's what the world always needs. That's what everybody needs, is hope. And,
That's what makes a good anime. That was what I was looking for, the word hope. Yeah.
Just any way you shake it, you can't deny the fact that like us sitting here right now playing a game called Ark, running a podcast. You can't shake it that some part of the developers were inspired because they were comic book readers. Like a lot of people could say they never read a comic book, but a lot of people who are in this medium, in video games and entertainment, more than likely have read a comic book, and more than likely it was a Marvel comic. And so it's that shred of inspiration that just can be enough to give someone an idea. And you know that like Marvel's been around for a long time. Stan, 95 years. Marvel's been around for 50 years, 60, 70 years. Like, you can only think that, I wonder how much shit that we actually play or read or watch on TV was inspired because they read a comic. And more than likely it was Stan Lee who wrote that comic.
Pretty cool.
And one last thing. One thing he used to do was even though he was a ham, like he always mentioned, like if someone said he created something, if it was him and someone else, he always corrected him on it. He always like, yeah, I created it, but so did this guy, so did that guy. And even though there was some rough times for Marvel, he still, he was a good enough guy to where 7 of his best artists left the company. He was still friends with them. Like, he was still cool with them. Again, the positive message. He wasn't the grudge type person. He was just, man, you gotta have something special inside of you to where people can do you wrong or do you kind of foul, and you just, the only thing you have to say to them are still good things. So he's definitely a phenomenal person. Definitely someone to look up to.
Ripperino pizzas all around.
And so I pray that his message will keep on floating, and I hope just more stories come out, more characters are made, more comics are distributed for the rightful reasons like Stan always wanted them to be. But yeah, we lost a good one. So.
But
Excelsior, bitches.
Thanks for watching, true believers. So, with that being said, one thing that Kevin James in that podcast was talking about.
Kevin Smith.
Fuck Kevin James. I know, Kevin Smith. My bad. I feel like Kevin Smith right now because he said something in his podcast where he screwed up a name too. But speaking of Kevin Smith, he had a fan come up to him and tell him how he liked the attached universes and how one movie is a different name of another movie, but they can connect together. How you're like, oh wait, wasn't that guy in the other movie? Oh fuck, these are in the same universe. And the person who liked Kevin Smith and came from Australia to see him was like, man, I love how you were one of the first people to do that. And Kevin Smith corrected him and said, see, that's the funny thing, right? Was you love Stan Lee, but you really came here for me because I'm like this person to you. But I stole it from Marvel to begin with, and how everything comes full circle. With that being said, my topic for this evening is universes, sequels. What is your most anticipated sequel to a game, or a game set in the same universe as one you like? Me personally, I have a couple, but first, I want to hear yours, Spike. What is something you anticipate in a universe that has not been released in quite some time?
Oh, you put me on the hot seat.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I just want to throw it in chat. Hey, anybody in the chat while we're talking, go ahead and let us know what sequel you would like to see, and as well in the YouTube comments if you're watching this there. We want to know what sequels you guys would like. But anyway, so I was thinking about this, and when I beat The Last of Us, I can remember it as a profound moment. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like, I can still see where I was with the screen, the last final. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the last scene, and what happens at the very end, and then boom, and then I just sat there, and I was like, at first, emotions were running through me. Right? At first, I was like, no, that's not the end. And then I was like, oh no, that sucks. And then I was like, no, that was perfect. And then I've since thought it was the complete package, right? This is the story. This is it. There's no way they could build upon this in a way that would do it justice. And then, they announced Naughty Dog, Last of Us 2 coming out, and I'm like, shit, they're gonna ruin it, so that's kind of my anticipation. Like, I mean, these are the same people that made the first one, so I gotta kind of give them the benefit of the doubt that they're actually gonna be able to pull it off. Are they going to be able to? I don't know. It's like, I can't go in with too much expectations, but I do. So I can't wait for Last of Us 2. Scared. It's like this feeling of like it could be just mind blowing, but it also could be like really deflating. So it's I don't think there's a middle ground in there. So that's some pretty high shit right there. It's like shoes to fill are humongous, but if they do it, it would just be amazing. So shout out to all the guys at Naughty Dog. They know how to make a story. I mean, the Uncharted story is amazing. Last of Us, amazing. So Last of Us 2 has potential, and I can't wait. If it's a PS5, I'll wait till PS5, whatever, but that's my anticipated sequel. I'm ready for it. Oh, as well as Death Stranding / Metal Gear Solid Zero. We all know that that's what that is. And put your tinfoil hat on, and yes.
Oh, man. Last of Us 2. I'm excited for it, but not like crazy. But like you said, you have to give them some benefit of the doubt. Last of Us 1, just to me, like you said, total package. I would have been perfect. It would have been perfect if they would have left it there, because that was an experience. It was a game, but it was one hell of an experience. And if they do something connected to it, if it's not great, it's gonna ruin the experience of the first in my eyes. So,
it's kind of like where, if you think of like Jurassic Park, right? One of the best movies ever made, hands down. No one can. Yeah. I don't think anyone would argue with that. Jurassic Park 2. Yeah.
Shit show. Yeah, you're right. One. I mean, God. Spike, did we go see that? Did we go see that when they re-released
it? 2, 3,
it?
whatever. I mean, come on. It's hard to, when you have something that's just fucking fire in a bottle.
Well, no,
you have a diamond. It's hard to get better than that,
I'm saying that because when they re-released it in theaters a couple years back, I remember watching it and I was still like, holy shit, this is still incredible.
Like Jurassic Park, you mean?
Yeah, to this day. What has it been, 20-something years? It's still fucking incredible.
Oh yeah. It holds up. It holds up for sure.
Oh, Skyman. Rocky Balboa Returns 7. Holy shit. If they did a new Rocky, that's another movie. No, it's Creed. It's not the same. I will not hate on Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a good actor. My problem is it's not Rocky. Doesn't mean it's not a good movie. Doesn't mean I won't go see it.
There was a Rocky where he's an old guy and he fights.
Yeah, but
Rocky Balboa.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, that's what it was. Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. All right.
So there's a sequel to Rocky Balboa where he's even older and he fights.
I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I don't know. I don't know how much you guys have watched or remember Rocky 1, 2, 3, and I believe 4. I could be wrong. Anyways, first three. We'll focus on that.
I mean, I remember some of them.
No, do I remember 4? Skyman, how many Rockies were there? But that's a little unimportant for this, though. Rocky, the back in the day ones, the originals, the series. I remember watching it a couple years ago. Maybe it might have been only a year or two. I rewatched it with my wife because she's never seen it. And, I mean, it's a guy movie. It's boxing. But when I went back and watched it, 6. Okay, got it. I remember watching it, and I still think the first one was the best. But I just remember watching it and being really into it, and the movie's like 30 years old, 40 years old, however old it is.
It could have been a contender.
Dude, and I still loved it. It was still fantastic. When a movie stands up to those amount of years and stands the test of time, man, that really makes something special. And I would love to see a new Rocky movie, but you can't rewind.
He's too old to fight now.
Well, no, that's what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't rewind Sylvester Stallone's age. Because if
what
I
if
could...
You can, it's called CGI.
No, what if they retcon? What if they just hire a young dude and they do like a prequel, a Rocky prequel?
I would love it. I would be in love with it.
They hire a young dude
Sorry,
like Sylvester
Squirrel.
Stallone.
No, that doesn't work because Rocky worked because that was the first time he got into boxing. You can't do a prequel because he wouldn't be boxing in it at all.
Dude, maybe he's like a Street Fighter or something. MMA or something.
He never street fought. That's in canon.
He was doing pickups for the mob, I believe. And
That ain't no prequel. I want to see shit.
Well, no, I'm explaining to Spike what he did before he started boxing.
Really?
Technically, didn't he amateur box like on the side? But he always lost, and then they needed a fill-in, so they picked him because he was a local.
Okay, yeah. That's it. Because it was Adrian who motivated him to get into boxing, and then that's where he got his first win.
Skyman, Rocky AI.
Like the robots taking over.
Rocky 2099.
Bro,
yeah,
that'd
what
be
if they
cool.
do like a far future Rocky where he's like he's been like they froze him and then they unfreeze him in like the future.
They unfreeze him and he has to box an alien boxing force to save the
Yeah,
Earth.
like robots and shit. He's like,
Hey, yo, let's go.
these robots ain't gonna shoot on me.
Oh man, where were we? I don't even know where
Rocky
we were.
in space.
We swerved on that topic. Man.
Space Rocky.
Space Rocky. Man, what a classic.
So I said Last of Us 2. I think you were about to say what you were anticipated on.
No, I'm gonna ask Highball. I'm gonna let Highball spin it.
Okay. What are you waiting for? Sequelize.
Maybe something unannounced that you would like to see?
His brain broke. Sorry, folks, we're having technical difficulties. Highball's brain is broke. We'll have to come back to him, I guess. Roots, what about you?
No, I'm here. I had a mic problem right there.
Oh,
Okay.
I had to take it out.
Bum 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 bum
so-
bum bum bum. And now back to your regularly scheduled Rootscast.
Anybody watching wants to donate at _games, we would put the money to buy new microphones.
I'm not gonna lie,
New
man.
microphone, new controller, new jobs.
Bro,
Yeah.
if we could get some Astro headsets and controllers, I would be in heaven.
Actually, it's funny that you just mentioned that, Spike, because I tried to watch a movie on my PlayStation last night after I lost internet, and it wouldn't play it. The movie I popped in a DVD and it wouldn't play it, and so
that's weird.
I tried the DVD player on an actual DVD player and it ran just fine. And my PlayStation does run the game still, so I don't know.
Doesn't it only? It doesn't. Yeah, I think it has to be Blu-ray, doesn't it?
Yeah,
No,
it's
it'll
Blu-ray.
run DVDs. It'll do DVDs
And it'll run
too.
DVDs too, but it was Blu-ray. I have it. It was Avengers Infinity War Blu-ray, and I've watched it on there before, but it wouldn't play it for me last night. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. What universe I would love to see another installment of? Something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it doesn't have to be in the works. As a matter of fact, it'd be more interesting if it wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
We got to try and make these developers make something they're not making.
I just got chills thinking about it, and I just got a warm sensation in my chest. Either I'm having a heart attack, or or it's the fact that it's a great idea. This is a deep cut for me because it was a movie I grew up watching over and over again, and it's really where a lot of my humor comes from. And they did a sequel, and it was horrible. But I would love to see if they could do it right. Do another installment, or at least a spin-off story of The Mask.
The Mask. Oh, like Jim Carrey, The Mask?
Yeah, Jim Carrey's The Mask.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy did a sequel.
Shut up! Don't talk about it. Don't bring that up. Don't do that. But like, I would love to see what they could do if they did a sequel or a spin-off, something like a spin-off story, to where it would be interesting to see where else they could go. There's not really much you could do, but I would really enjoy that because I love that movie. I love that movie to death.
That's cool. I would watch that. Would it have to have Jim Carrey in it though?
Oh, it would be tough without him.
I would say you would have to have Jim Carrey in it, but you could give somebody else a chance. Jamie Kennedy, no, get the fuck out of here. But like,
why you hating, man?
Like,
Malibu's most wanted, son.
Like seeing how like comedy has changed, like comedy shifted in the last 20 years to where it's not the way it used to. It's not the same kind of comedy, but like that kind of stuff that was in The Mask. That kind of performance that Jim Carrey did, like, that is, like, uncanny, dude. Like, no one can come close to how he did that. But to give someone else a chance, I wouldn't mind giving someone else a chance. But if I could choose, I would definitely put Jim Carrey back in it, because I think that'd be the bomb.
Dude, I just thought of it. I wish Chris Farley was still alive and he could be The Mask. Oh, my God. So, you see immediately Highball's thinking negative, but you got to think positive.
No, that was not a negative fucking wow. That was wow. I've never thought of that. Like, holy shit.
Okay. All right. Well, check this out, Highball. Hear me out. What made The Mask good? It was that he was quirky and zany and like off the wall, off the cuff.
All hell.
Doesn't that describe Chris Farley? Wasn't he energetic and like? He's at first glance oddball pick, but he kind of fits the character. He wouldn't. I think certain aspects of the character you'd have to change, but I still think it would be different enough to make it his own.
Yeah.
But I think still be in the same vein. Because
when you say Chris Farley. And you just made me think of Adam Sandler now.
As The Mask, really? That was it.
Oh, I do. Oh, man. All right, so across Adam Sandler, a whole movie isn't that crazy. But Adam Sandler has quirky areas of movies. Like when he starts throwing on a voice or he'll get a little hyper. Like he doesn't do it throughout a whole movie. But if he did, The Mask would kind of be in the range of what it would be.
Yeah, like, remember 8 Crazy Nights? That animated Christmas movie? Like, just close your eyes and just picture him as being The Mask, just pulling off those different characters and personas throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Another one I think would be good for it. Jason Mantzoukas. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think. You know who Jason Mantzoukas is, huh?
He's a comedian.
Yes.
I know. Oh, Jason Sudeikis.
No, Mantzoukas.
Who the fuck is Manzukis? It sounds like a tribal warrior.
You've
Marcus
never
is married to Olivia Wilde. He wins life.
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis is married to Olivia Wilde.
I know he wins life. Just that's a side.
No. Jason Mantzoukas.
Who the fuck is Manzukis?
You
Look
don't-
it up, GTS.
I don't have my phone.
He's one of the funniest people around. He's hilarious, and the one thing I think would make The Mask relevant would be him. I think, even though The Mask is funny, I think Jason Mantzoukas could be a good, like, updated version. Like, if they were gonna reboot The Mask.
Oh my god, I know him! Holy shit, yeah!
He's fucking right. See, I think he would bring The Mask.
Oh my god.
I think Jason Mantzoukas would be a good reboot because I think he would make it
Wow.
more up to date. His
Fucking
humor,
Rafi.
his Ralphie bomb. I think Jason Mantzoukas would bring up to date comedy, where he would say more kind of like comedy nowadays from back then is now a little bit more fuck shit, stuff like that. And I think his humor, he'd say, something like, "Wow, that was a crazy night. Well, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go sleep in the barn and hump a dead horse." Like he would bring the weird crazy as opposed to zany crazy.
Okay, I'm down for that. I would watch him. I would.
Yeah, oh my god, that would be incredible.
That's a good choice. But real quick though, like aside from the casting, like the premise of the story, like what would you do? And I'm just now thinking, like, what if it's not a sequel? What if it's a prequel? Like, what if it's a story about the Mask before Stanley Ipkiss found it? Like, what if it's a story about somebody else who came across the Mask before Stanley Ipkiss' story? And so then you could do a dated version of it, a period piece, because you know how like the movie took place, it was modern times, but it had that 1940s, ambiance to it. And
Yeah.
so like, what if they would do a prequel of like the first person who encountered the Mask or something? It doesn't
Or how
have
they
to.
made it. Like, how did it get made?
I wouldn't go back that far because that's what they try to do with the Son of the Mask bullshit movie, where it was like,
okay, I never saw it.
Loki and the Norse mythology and all that stuff coming into the picture, and that was just, ugh.
To be honest with
Ugh.
you, I would hate to see it as a prequel to any of it. I would love to. If it's Jason Mantzoukas, I need modern time. I need today. I need.
Yeah.
Holy shit! What the fuck is this dumb thing? Stupid, and then he throws it away. Kind of doing his thing. He'd just be like, "What is this? Does this go on your ass or something? That's fucking stupid." Throw it in the river. He sees it when he gets home. He's like, "Holy shit! Satan's following me." Well, might as well put it on. Just like, I don't know. I'd much rather, if it's Jason Mantzoukas, I'd like to see up to date. Maybe
because
if it's Adam Sandler, go back. Prequel.
And that's the thing about The Mask. That's what was great about the story was it wasn't heavily influenced. Like if you go back and watch it now, you might actually pick up on some things, but to my knowledge, to my recollection, like it really didn't base itself on like current world events and anything. It was just its own story inside of the world that we live in, and that's what was great about it, is like it didn't make political references, it didn't make jabs at real Hollywood spectacle, it didn't do any of that. And it honestly, with how crude that movie was in some areas, it was almost a purely like harmless story. Like it really was, I think. And like there are things in that movie, in that story, that are just like, whoa, that's crazy. But it wasn't like foul language every 2 seconds. It wasn't nudity. It wasn't blood. It was wholesome in a certain aspect, like. And they would have to capture that. They have to bring that over. It's like Ghostbusters. You'll never be able to do another Ghostbusters movie because times have changed. It won't feel like it used to be. But if you could harness that same exact like atmosphere, that would be perfect if they could make another one. Like, I would love, I would have said Ghostbusters, but that's like my punch drunk love fucking like wish that they'll ever do a third one. But The Mask is the
Not
fantasy
the feminist one, the real one.
the real one, not the horrible, and not because of the women, just horribly written fucking reboot. But like the Mask,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think that'd be like a fun collaboration.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're running along, Roots. You better get your topic in here.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. I didn't even do my topic yet, or my answer. Pong Skyman, Pong with taser controllers. Oh my god! I wonder if anybody has done that. It's got to be possible. Oh my goodness! I'm not playing that with you, Skyman. Oh boy. All right, so most anticipated. Mine are obviously going to be games. My most anticipated, I actually have 3. The first one, slight rant here, Command and Conquer. Screw you, EA, for turning it into a mobile phone title. You make me want to vomit in my own hand and then eat it and then vomit again.
Ugh, gross.
Exactly. That's what I think of Command and Conquer, an RTS game as a mobile game. People were begging for a new Command and Conquer, and what they did is said, yeah, here it is on mobile, and we're going to load it up with microtransactions, eat our shorts. That's life. My next one would obviously be a new Warcraft. Warcraft, one of my favorite universes, one of my favorite games ever. The problem with that is that World of Warcraft came out. And since that is the game for that universe right now, and it still has probably millions of people still signed up, they're not going to make a new Warcraft RTS to lose. They will cannibalize their own audience if they do that, which obviously they don't want to do. So Warcraft 4, Warcraft 4 never coming out ever at this rate. It's sad.
Yeah.
People have wanted it since fucking 3 came out. Like
RTS it, yeah.
Yeah, our Warcraft 3 was freaking amazing. You didn't think it could get better, and then they introduced the expansion, the Frozen Throne. I remember buying Warcraft 3 when it first came out, and I remember buying the Frozen Throne when it first came out, and it was simply incredible. You didn't think it got better, but it did.
Eyeball, you got them chippies?
Squeaking. But it really sucks. They're coming out with Warcraft 3 remastered. As much as I'd like to see that, nobody wants it. We want Warcraft 4. That's one of the things people say about Blizzard. You don't know your audience because you're putting Diablo on mobile and you're giving us a Warcraft 3 remastered. Eat a bowl of asses. I'm probably never going to play a Blizzard game again. But my biggest want, which is probably even less of a chance than Warcraft 4, is Half-Life. They were supposed to... So, Half-Life...
Never happened.
Yeah, it's never gonna fucking happen. So, Half-Life 2 came out. Again, another title that people said 2 will never be better than 1, but we want it. And it was. It's incredible how good it was. The gravity gun, the boat mission. Oh, that game blew my mind. Yes, fucking hate them, but it was... Head crabs were pieces of shit, but you could deal with them. The problem is, it took them so long to develop. Robot dog. Wow, 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 wow. It took them so long to develop. They said, well, we know everybody wants the next one, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to release them in episodes. So they'll be shorter, but we're going to spit them out like fucking bubblegum. Pop, 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 pop. It took them forever to make the first episode. They came out with, I believe, 1 or 2 more, and then that was it. It was over. They stopped.
It's only been 2, I think.
Yeah. So they released the one, released another. Everybody's crazy looking for it, and they pretty much, for the last 7 years, have said.
And then Valve decided, hey, Steam makes us way more fucking money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Steve, they don't even have to make games anymore. They just literally sit back and collect. And unfortunately, all it takes is for a studio to make one bad game, and it could sink the ship. So, even though I don't think Half-Life would ever be unwanted and unwelcomed, even though I think Half-Life would always sell decent, it's still a risk you'd have to take. And why are you going to take the risk of being bankrupt and done when you can just sit back and collect millions? That's like telling a rich person to put it all on the line for what? To make a fraction of what they probably make every year for one game? So I see business-wise it doesn't make sense, but damn it, I want it. It's so good. It's so good.
You just made me think when you mentioned Half-Life. I just thought of what if they did Portal 3.
Yeah, that would be good.
I like Portal, but unfortunately, coming up on Half-Life first, I remember when I played the first one, I snuck on my brother's computer and just played it and played it and played it. That's how I played it. Yeah, and I played Blue Shift and Opposing Force, all that shit. But I honestly, if they came out with a Half-Life, it would be cool if it was packaged with Portal again. I really like that idea. They had the orange box. I thought it was great. But then again, I'm someone with a wide spectrum of likes when it comes to gaming, so I liked everything that was in that box. But I would rather them come out with Half-Life light years before they... if it came to them thinking about Portal or coming out with Half-Life, I would take Half-Life every time. Even though Portal is a great game, even though it's extremely innovative, even though they could incorporate... I would like to see that. I would like to see them come out with a Portal 3, but also incorporate things from Portal from the Portal universe. I think that would be cool. Even though technically they did, I think. I think they did with episode 2. I could be wrong. But that's mine. That's all I got on that.
One last thing before we leave. Guys, what about Spaceballs 2?
You know, I'm not trying to hate on Spaceballs. I tried watching, I just couldn't get into it.
Wow. Go jump off a cliff.
And all the actors in it, I love.
Spaceballs.
Like,
it's funny.
Like John Candy and all them are fantastic. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a big enough Star Wars fan.
Well, anyway, I think that would be cool if they made a parody of all the new modern Star Wars.
Yeah. Like, here's the greatness about Spaceballs. And if you did a sequel, you don't need to do about Lone Star. You don't need to do about Lord Helmet. You do what Star Wars does, and you fucking just continue it on with a different character, maybe in some relation, in some kind of fashion. But then you just have a new villain. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Watching a Spaceballs 2 with a whole new character and a group of characters to follow their story, rather than it being a continuation of said characters from Spaceballs 1. Like, you gotta have Mel Brooks in it, though. You gotta have Yogurt. You gotta have Yogurt.
Alright, let's wrap it up, gentlemen.
Alright, with that being said, everybody, I hope you liked the podcast this week. Again, give us a follow if you liked it. We're trying to get to 50 followers by Christmas. We were going for just December in general, but, Going for Christmas now. We'll give ourselves a little leeway with the holidays. Hope you guys
Give us
have...
a Santa Christmas gift. Follow us.
Right? Early Christmas gift. Follow _games. Everybody, enjoy your holiday. Spend time with your family. Don't work on the holiday. That's horse shit. You should be spending
Somebody's gotta
time.
work on Thanksgiving, or else no one's gonna get anything done.
Thanksgiving's a time for family to eat dinner together, to have a good old time, not work for corporations that make you work on Christmas or Thanksgiving. With that being said, though, give us a follow, _games. Have a good time with your family. Eat a lot of food. Eat a ton of food. As a matter of fact, when we come back
Thanks,
next
Skyman,
Saturday...
for being in the chat.
Dude, Skyman,
Skyman.
you're the man. One day we're going to make you a plaque for #1 fan.
#1 fan. Give him the plaque. We'll name a taxidermy animal after you.
Oh, man, we're going to make the Skyman Packy or something.
T-Rex.
Oh, Skyman T-Rex. We're getting right on it, Skyman. But we appreciate everybody for joining us today. When everybody comes back, I want to hear the pains of growing bellies next Saturday. I want to hear. I want to. I want to hear. I want to hear when we come back. This is what I want to hear. Oh, I'm still full.
Right.
Everybody, have a good night. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Deuces.